when you are playing down at the bottom of the neck, you have the luxury of using the open string down there as that fifth note. However, the last thing we've got to talk about today is, why did they give you all these other frets? You want to learn how to play all over the neck of the guitar as well. You don't want to just play down there in those first 4 frets. They wouldn't have given you all these other frets up here. Now, and so this is, we'll have to look at this quickly here. Further up the neck of the guitar, if you want to learn to play the 12-note system anywhere on the neck of the guitar, further up the neck of the guitar, a new rule kind of has to kick in. Further up the neck, you can't use the open strings anymore. If you're playing way up in here, the open strings down here don't have essentially any relevance to what you're doing up here. So, further up the neck, 4 fingers has to somehow equal 5 frets. You don't have the luxury anymore of using the open strings. So somehow you've got to get your 4 fingers to play 5 different notes. And in order to do that, you learn essentially the only other thing there is to know about the fingering on the guitar, for now anyway. It's a little thing called finger shifts. And the way these work is, one of your fingers has to do double duty. One of your fingers has to play 2 notes. One finger plays 2 notes. And there are certain more and less and prescribed ways to think about doing that, and we're going to show you those in a second. They give you some kind of like suggestions about the most logical ways to do that. Remember, you're always trying to use the most logical fingers you can to play anything on the guitar. Otherwise, you're just stumbling all over yourself. Down at the bottom of the neck, the logical way was just to use your 4 fingers up and down the 4 frets. Further up the neck, you've got to learn how to do these finger shifts, because you've got to get 4 fingers to play 5 notes. How do these finger shifts work? Well, let's say that I wanted to control the guitar up in this range right here. Let's say I wanted to have my index finger on my 5th fret, which for most of you is your 2nd dot up the neck, on my low E string. That note will actually be an A right there if you look at your finger chart. Now, on this chart right here, now this is 6 frets on the neck of a guitar. 6 frets on the neck of the guitar. This is what should rightly be called the box. Guitar players are always talking about the box. The box is the area of the neck of the guitar that your fingers are occupying at any particular point. And most people think the box is only 4 frets, the frets that your fingers are literally occupying. But you should know better than that at this point. You know that it actually requires 5 frets to control the guitar. In a moment, you'll see why I've also included the 6th fret. The reason is, sometimes your index finger here is going to reach out an extra fret to get notes up on this fret up here, and other times your pinky is going to reach out an extra fret to get notes down here. So what really should be, you should always be thinking about on the neck of the guitar is 6 frets, because that's what it really requires to control the guitar. Now, let's say, like I said, your finger is on that 5th fret, your index finger is right there, and let's say that on this chart, that's this note right here. And you want to know how to control the 12-note system going up the neck, starting right there. Well, in many ways, it works the same way. First of all, I can see how to begin my chromatic scale. I can just walk up 4 frets, which on this chart would be just like walking up these 4 notes, right like this. Right like that. Question is, where do you go next? After you've gotten up to that pinky note up there, where is the next note higher than that? Well, the main thing I want to tell you is, interestingly enough, the guitar works further up the neck pretty much the same way that it does down at the bottom of the neck. For example, can you answer these 2 questions? Your low E string and your high E string, how far apart in pitch are those 2 notes? They're 2 octaves apart, right? So, you know what? This note right here and this note right here are 2 octaves apart. Just like, you know, what's going on down here at the bottom of the neck is the same thing that's going on everywhere. These 2 notes, from your low E string to the same fret on your high E string, is still 2 octaves wherever you are in the neck. Another thing is, how far is it, how many notes are there between this open string and this open string? There's 4 notes, right? That's what we've been understanding about the guitar. In between, there's always 4 notes. Think of your 2 open strings as being like the same fret on 2 different strings. So my question is this, see like this note right here? How far apart is this note in this note? How many notes are in between this fret on this string and the same fret on the next string? The answer is there's 4 notes in between there too. So what I'm saying is when you're fingering further up the neck, it works pretty much the same way that it does when it's down here. So now remember, our question is, where are we going to find the next note higher than this one on the guitar? We knew that we had our 4 fingers, and we've got our 4 notes till we get to our pinky note on the neck of the guitar. I'm starting right here, and I'm going 1, 2, 3, 4. Where is the next note higher than this? Well, one place that I could play that note would be on this next fret right here. And one thing that I could do is scoot my pinky out like that, an extra fret. So my pinky is the finger that's playing 2 notes right there. So that's what's known as a pinky shift. Shifting my pinky out like that to get an extra note. The only thing is, that's kind of an awkward and difficult thing to make my finger do. Most people are not muscled where their finger really likes having to make that jump like that. Particularly when you remember that the guitar works the same way up here that it did down at the bottom of the neck. There's another place where you can play that 5th note. What if this was actually literally the bottom of the guitar neck, like we were talking about a few minutes ago? After I had played my chromatic scale and gotten up to my pinky, where would I have gone to next? I would have shifted to the next open string, wouldn't I? If I was playing down here and I got to my pinky note, where was the next note higher than that? It was the open string on the next string. Well, now that I'm playing up here, I don't have that open string to play anymore when I go up like this, but the thing to realize is the open string would be the equivalent of this fret right here. And what you're going to find out is, you see this note that I could have played with my pinky right here? That's the same as the note that's on this fret on the next string over. Listen. Isn't that the same pitch? There's 2 different places to play that same note. Just like when I was down at the bottom of the neck here, the note that would have been on the 5th fret on this string is the same as the next open string. When I'm playing a little further up the neck, the note that's right here is the same as the note that's right here. So when it comes to that 5th note, I have a choice as to where to play it. And most people would agree that when you're going up the scale, a better thing to do is you start here, as we've already noted on the chart, and you play up till you get to your pinky note, but don't do a pinky shift here. Better thing to do is reach out an extra fret over here on your next string with your index finger. See, I've moved my index finger over a string, but down 1 fret to play that note. And then here's my actual finger shift. I scoot that finger across the fret, back onto the fret it would have normally been on. My index finger is therefore controlling 2 notes. So if I start here, I'm going, then I reach out, and then I do my shift, and then I can continue to walk right up that string.
Hi, I'm Scotty West, creator of the Absolutely Understand Guitar Video Home Study Program. Hey, thanks for all the positive feedback on our video guitar lessons. We're now uploading new lessons right from our DVD Home Study Program. Each lesson is 70 minutes long, but we've chopped them up into 10-minute chapters to fit on YouTube, so each lesson will have 7 chapters. It's critical that you watch these chapters in order. Make sure you start with Lesson 1, Chapter 1, then move to Lesson 1, Chapter 2, etc. When you've finished all the chapters for Lesson 1, then move on to Lesson 2. Hey, some of this stuff you might already know, and some of it's a little dry. You're going to wonder, do I really need to know this stuff? The answer is yes. Each one of these chapters contains little gems of information that nobody's told you yet, and these are the missing pieces that are preventing you from seeing the big picture. Don't cheat yourself out of these valuable realizations. Stick with the program. Also, consider our complete DVD home study program. Our high-resolution DVD video is much better than these fuzzy little YouTube clips, and you'll also get all our cool printed material, too. So good luck with your music and enjoy the lessons.